Hello and welcome to this Deep Rock Galactic guide. Today I'm going to be explaining how to defeat the 4 machine events: the Omen Modular Exterminator, Tritylite Deposit, Kursite Grinder, and Overcharge Sprinkler. The Omen Modular Exterminator is a 3-tiered tower machine event. After inserting the Tritylite key and pressing the 4 buttons around the structure, the event will begin.
About to heat up, lads.
The top section of the tower is the Heavy Burster Cannon. The cannon will slowly rotate around the tower, emitting a red targeting light. If the light passes over a player, a machine gun will begin firing at them. You can see me constantly running around the tower attempting to dodge this light. The second portion of the tower is the Radial Pulse Gun. The Radial Pulse Gun is always at the bottom layer of the tower. Once per second, the tower will rotate and then fire. It will send out a slow moving purple beam at waist level which will deal extreme damage when touched. The beams can be avoided by dodging or jumping over them. They also are stopped by hiding behind solid objects. The engineer can place platforms on top of the maintenance platforms to elevate the players above the beams. The twin slicers, the 2 lasers in the middle, will periodically perform sweeps around the tower at varying heights. The lasers can be avoided quite easily as they are not pointing at the ground most of the time. There are 3 platforms around the Modular Exterminator. The platforms are always linked to the same layer of the tower. The left and right maintenance platforms will randomly open the middle or top module. The opposite maintenance platform is always linked to the bottom layer of the tower. Standing on these platforms, you can see the section of the tower which will be available for you to attack will be highlighted. The tower is attackable once you see that authorization has been granted. To destroy a section of the tower, you must shoot the green weak points located at intervals around the tower on the appropriate section. The Exterminator has an effective health scaling ranging from 120 at has 1 with 1 player to 960 at has 5 with 4 players. The Exterminator has a 70% resistance to explosion, fire and frost damage. The cooling tanks are also weak points with a multiplier of ×1, so weapons with weak point damage do more damage to them. In my opinion, the Exterminator is probably the most fun of the events to do, but it's also the most difficult. The Tritylite Crystal event can either be very easy, or it can be a pain. When the Tritylite key is inserted and the 4 buttons are pushed, Mission Control will send down a nanite bomb dispenser.
Well, a Tritylite deposit. Assuming in a nanite bomb dispenser for...
Can't penetrate it, nothing will.
As you can see on this one, I've gotten quite lucky with the bomb dispenser placement. The deposit is within line of sight. Sometimes the dispenser can be through extremely thick walls or very high up. Driller is an ideal dwarf for this event as he can dig underneath the dispenser to make it drop down, or bring it to a more accessible level, or dig a tunnel straight to the dispenser should it be through walls. The goal is to throw bombs from the dispenser onto the Tritylite Crystal. Each nanite bomb does 100 damage to a radius of 3 meters. The deposit has health scaling from 315 at has 1 with 1 player to 1050 at has 5 with 4 players. The Kursite Infection is arguably the most simple of the events. The key is inserted and the 4 buttons pushed, modified enemies with yellow crystals and blue skin will begin to spawn. When these enemies are killed, they drop Kursite crystals. These enormous yellow crystals begin to decay shortly after they die. The crystal that has been dropped by the enemy must be taken to the Kursite analyzer. The goal for this objective is to deposit the required amount of Kursite in the allotted time. Only one type of infected enemy will spawn during the event, and it could be an Acid Spitter, Praetorian or Mactera spawn. For example, during this one it was the Acid Spitters. The scaling jumps immediately from 1 player to 2 to 4 and varies depending on the enemies carrying the Kursite.
Stuff them in the machine for further analysis.
See you later! Down the hatch! I think we're actually doing alright so far. It's past your expiration date. Look there! Pow! Out of my way! Heck. We did it! Let's infuse some cores!
Good job, team. Core infuser ready.
The Ebonite Mutation event will deploy the overcharge sprinkler after the Tritylite key has been inserted, and as usual, the 4 buttons pushed. Once the event begins, Ebonite glyphids of varying sizes will spawn in a steady but slow stream. The machine periodically spits out glowing blue and yellow canisters. These canisters dramatically lower the cooldown on the power attack. The Ebonite creatures can only really be damaged by melee attacks, however this does include the driller's impact axe and its reinforced power drills. They can also be damaged when they are frozen. Guns and explosives are largely ineffective. Depending on their size, ranging from grunts to Praetorians, it will take either 1 or 2 power attacks to take them down.
Meet your maker, Crate! Yeah! Pow! Oh! Access provided. Be gone! Stay by my side, Moscow! Booyah! Ugh! Gotta wait for the recharge. Pow! Taste the pickaxe! Blah! What's this? Ah! Be gone! Let's get
Grunts provide 1 point each, and Praetorians 2. The total points required scales with players, not hazard difficulty.
Let's show them some pain!
As of right now, these are currently the machine events in DRG. This does not include random events such as Corlock Spawns, Nemesis and Betsy's, but they could be covered in another video if required. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more in the future. Thank you and goodbye.